Mega Mugs. After spending 9 months backpacking our way across Southeast Asia, we decided we were ready for a new challenge. After arriving in Australia, we bought a converted four-wheel drive, and so far we've driven the East Coast and spent one incredible month in Tasmania. Our adventure now takes us west along the south coast, as over the next few months we take on the huge 4,000-kilometre drive between Melbourne and Perth. Join us today as the adventure continues. Hello and welcome back to our channel. We're Mega Mugs and this is part 2 of our trip along the Great Ocean Road. So we're technically on day 4 now, and first stop of the day is the 12 Apostles. So it's nice and early, blue skies, and it's so quiet here.
I know, we visited yesterday afternoon just because we weren't 100% sure on what the weather would be like. And it was so busy, all the tour buses, car park was packed. We had to actually park like round the side. And
I think actually because the sun was like facing us rather than the Apostles, the lighting wasn't that great.
But I think it'll be much better this morning because you see the sun's up there and the Apostles are will be in front of us. So it'll be sort of lighting them up. We stayed at a lovely campsite last night.
We're like a 10-minute drive away from the Apostles, which is why we came.
Yeah, I put the campsite up on the screen as well, like where it is. It was $20.
With hot showers, camp kitchen, it's perfect.
It was really nice, quiet location, and we saw loads of like huge kangaroos as well.
They were ginormous.
They're probably the biggest ones that we've seen so far. But yeah, we're just gonna have a walk to the viewpoint now. We're at stop number 2 now. It's called Lockhart Gorge, named after a ship that sank here in 1878. I presume just because of the rough waters off this coastline. That's why you see so many lighthouses on this coastline as well. They were all put in here because of the bad weather that you get from sort of like the winds and stuff coming from Antarctica, and then sort of like the curve round of the bottom of the coast of Australia and the Bass Strait between Tasmania. But
access down to the beach is closed today just because probably time of year and the waves are so bad. But honestly, there's some beautiful viewpoints anyway, so it's still worth a visit.
Yeah, and they seem to be doing like a bit of work of updating like the tourist facilities as well. That was the same as at the 12 Apostles.
Yes.
They were kind of doing like a work on some extra lookout or whatever, but maybe that'll be finished by the time that you visit.
And this was only a 5-minute drive from the last stop.
Yeah, it seems like there's lots of different spots along this. Like there's London Bridge that's coming up next, and that's only another like a little short drive from here.
London Bridge. Honestly, the car park was really small for how popular that spot is, and now we have just driven a little bit down the road to come to the popular grotto.
After our time by the coast, we then head inland to the next stop. We also saw this kind of dust tornado sort of thing that neither of us had ever seen anything like before, which kind of took us aback. But we continued the journey up into the mountains, into the Grampians National Park. Since we spoke to you last, we took the about 2.5 hour drive up from the coast into the Grampians National Park. It was a really beautiful drive towards the end. We were kind of just going through bushland for probably about an hour and a half, and then the last sort of bit was really beautiful. But we're up at the Reeds Lookout just north of the
Mackenzie Falls.
Yeah. took about a 10-15 minute walk along the path from the lookout to this other bit, the balconies lookout. What does it say? It says 760 metres of elevation. But it's beautiful. Meg said earlier that it kind of reminded her of the Blue Mountains, and it's that kind of vibe. It's just like, I feel like all the mountain sort of like ranges in national parks in Australia, they're just like, the range is just so vast, like just goes on forever.
Yeah.
Like, and you can't really see any
where it ends.
Yeah.
But also
so
this
beautiful.
one's a lot more quiet than the Blue Mountains.
Oh, much
from
more
what
quiet.
I've seen so far.
Yeah, I doubt it's on like many like
Great Ocean Road itineraries.
Exactly, yeah. I doubt many people come just because it is a bit of a detour, but it really is beautiful. Definitely recommend it. We've got like a 5-hour hike planned for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we'll see like what the weather's saying, and then we'll decide if we're up to it.
And it sort of like loops around and finishes near the scenic lookout, which is like obviously one of the more iconic views in the Grampians. But we're gonna have a walk back to the car now and then go off to Mackenzie Falls. After spending a while taking in the views of the lookout, we took the short 15-minute drive over to Mackenzie Falls. Now, we'd seen a lot of waterfalls over our time on the Great Ocean Road, but this was tipped to be one of the best, and it really didn't disappoint at all. We headed down a number of steep steps down to the bottom of the waterfall, following the path of the river. It really was beautiful and definitely worth the long hike back up to the top. We were quite tired after a long day of driving, so we found a local camp spot. After a couple of kilometres outside of the town, driving down a gravel road, we got to our campsite late on in the evening. It was a beautiful spot with everything that we needed: toilet, running water. We parked up for the night alongside some other campers, had some dinner, and then got some rest before another early start the following day. Good morning. We've been blessed with another sunny day, so we thought we'd take the opportunity to get up out and early before it got too hot and do the Pinnacle Lookout walk from I think it's the Wonderland car park in the Grampians. We were thinking of doing the 5-hour loop walk, but after all the stuff we did yesterday, we were literally out and about from like 9 o'clock in the morning until we got into the campsite last night at like 6:30. So we're a bit tired and didn't fancy walking for 5 hours. So this is like between 2 and 3 hours, I think. 5.5 kilometre return. So, and I think it said like 280 metres of elevation gain or change in total. So shouldn't be too bad. And yeah, we're just gonna enjoy the weather, hopefully some lovely views. So I think we're going somewhere up there on that ridge line. I'm not sure how far we've been going. We passed a sign a little while ago for 1.7 kilometres left. But we're not going in the direction that I thought we were. We've just passed like the Grand Canyon. But I would say if you were going to do this and it was going to be a sunny day, definitely come early because there is plenty of shade, like where we are now in the forest. But if it was midday, there really wouldn't be. And all the big rocks and stuff. Be a nice place to hide behind.
If you have the flexibility, I feel like spring or autumn would be the best time of year because it's not as hot.
Definitely. The silent street portion of the walk, about, I don't know, not too far from the top, I wouldn't say.
Maybe like 300 metres?
Something like that, yeah.
It's really cool, it's like we're in the middle, so it's nice and cool as well. Good job you're not any wider, Morg. Good views though, I enjoyed that bit. Made it. Took us 1 hour 10, so not too bad.
Back at the car park now, and it took us about 2 hours and 10 minutes with a little 10-15 minute stop
Like
to have
food
some
break.
lunch after we got to the summit, and then kind of stopped a couple of times on the way for a bit of water. But
Yeah.
we're very glad that we did it early in the morning because now it's really quite warm.
It's not so shaded.
Yeah, the sun's out in force. I think it's going to be like 25 degrees today, but when there's no clouds, and like Australia just feels like it's hotter.
Yeah. What? There's 2 emus, that is mental.
Head north on Clematis
cool.
Drive towards Evans Place, then turn right.
You can't cross there, sir. That is so crazy.
Head north on Clematis Drive towards Sentinel Court.
After our encounter with the emus, we had an even more strange animal encounter with this giant koala that was on the side of the road. We just had to stop off and get some photos.
State number 5?
We continued driving until we were about 2 hours outside of Adelaide and stopped off in this town with a lovely community pool. It was a donation campsite and the pool was $4 to use, and then you could use the showers as well.
Okay, bathroom tour. This one is really nice. We're staying in a donation-based camp in Cunalpin. So the donation's $15 a night. Yesterday we paid to use the pool which is attached. That was $4 each, but then you got unlimited hot showers. Or here in the bathrooms you can pay $5 for a 5-minute hot shower. So it actually worked out cheaper. But yeah, I'll give you a quick tour. So showers. And we've got soap.
After our night at the campsite, our time on the Great Ocean Road was coming to an end. We drove 2 hours to Adelaide to stay with some of Megan's family and spend the next couple of weeks preparing for the journey from Adelaide all the way across into Western Australia. We really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to like and subscribe, leave us a comment, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.